I got him when he was just a tiny duckling. We went to the farm store to get 2 ducklings, but we came home with 3. The last duckling placed in the box was a little brown duck that I later named Smokey. What I didn't know at the time was that this duck would grow up to be something that God used to change our lives and to touch people. When he was just a duckling, I would lead him as he followed me just about everywhere. But as he grew up, he started leading me, and I started following him. Sometimes we'd just spend days in our pasture just hanging out together as he sat on my lap for hours just talking to him. And it may seem boring to some people, but to me and him, it was just the most special thing. About 2 years ago, when he was just 6 months old, I took him to his first poultry show. His third poultry show is when people started remembering him as the loving and truly trusting duck that nobody had ever seen. Our showmanship judge on the third poultry show said that Smokey was the most calm and trusting duck he had ever seen in his 60 years of life and 15 years of showmanship judging. Some people would just gather to his cage and sit on the ground and with their little kids, and people would laugh and smile. And when we were waiting in line for the showmanship, I was on the ground with Smokey on my lap, and people would come over and lean down and go, "Oh, that's the sweetest duck I've ever seen." And it was just special because you could see the smile on their face. And people would be walking by that looked sad or unhappy, and once they laid eyes on him, their faces just totally changed, and a smile was wiped on their face. One time, me and my family were walking the trails, and I went one way and my family went the other, and they yelled, "Hey, we're going this way," and Smokey immediately takes a U-turn as if he understands them and starts going on the roads that they're going. And I just think that's so cool. It's like he understands us even though he can't speak our language. Me and my family just love walking the trails on our property, and we have a duck on one side leading us and a dog on the other leading us. And Smokey is just like one of those ducks that you just won't get another one of as long as you live. He doesn't care if you're rich or poor, if you live in a shack or a McMansion. He won't leave your side. I mean, who else can you say that about? Not many people, that's for sure. In the afternoons, I get beside a tree and have him on my lap, just thanking God for him, because that extra duck we weren't planning on buying has changed my life and brightened the lives of others. His story shows how God will work for anything, whether a dog, a job interview, or, in my case, a duck we weren't planning on buying but bought anyway. I've seen many miracles and divine things happen in my life, but nothing quite like this. Out of all the ducks I've seen or owned, even Smokey's daughter, Finn, the hen, none of them are like Smokey. He is blessing to me and people who meet him. Spread the word of God and tell people about your stories of how God has worked in your life. I'm telling mine, and this is a story I definitely will never forget. For those of you that are going through hard times or need help in this world, maybe a duck that God is using to touch people's lives and bring joy to the joyless, maybe that'll help you. Trust that God knows what is best, and maybe He'll use something small but powerful like a duck to change your life. Sometimes your best friends aren't always people. My best friend outside my family is Smokey. And for the times I've cried, for the times I've laughed for birthdays, Christmases, and Thanksgivings, he's been there through thick and thin. I've had so many memories of him in the last 2.5 years, and those memories make him one of the most special things in my life. Smokey has definitely boosted my faith in Jesus, that is for sure. Especially the fact that God uses the smallest things to work miracles in your life.